Hey guys! So I'm just going to do a little bit of a recording for everybody so that we can utilize it amongst the team. Now I know when we come in here, everybody talks about utilizing the system, right? We know that there's a system, we know the system works, we hear everybody say success leaves clues. But it's a little elusive as to what that system actually is. So I'm going to break it down for you guys. Now please remember again, the system isn't designed out of ego. We don't do it because the leaders think they know best. They've literally been taught by Jeff Roberti, who is, he probably shouldn't need any introduction if you guys have read your resources like Rise of the Entrepreneur, GoPro, all of that stuff. He was one of the biggest network marketing executives in the world. His last check last year was over $100 million just in bonuses. And he's the top earner in Juice Plus. Okay, so he knows his stuff. He's worked out what works. He has the success formula and he passes it down for us to do. Now, if you look at people like Lawrence Locum, Linda Evenden, Adam, Lauren, myself, we're all using this formula and we've all been successful from it. So it's definitely not a way to push us upon you. It's a way to help you guys find your feet in the business and come forward. Now, if you've worked with me personally, you know that I'm massive on authenticity. So I think that whatever you bring to the universe is really important. And it's what is initially going to attract your vibe. It's going to attract your tribe. It's going to attract your customers. It's going to be what sets you apart from every single one of us. So what you need to do is you need to find the really perfect balance between bringing yourself to the system and making them work in a nice, even dance. Okay, so I know that sounds a little bit confusing, but what I want you to do is look at what I'm going to show you here, follow it, but remember that you need to bring yourself to it. So, you guys should know, or if you don't, we do have the scripts book available in the files section of any of our team pages. So in Team Love, it'll be there, in Team Freestyle, in Team Illuminate, and it really will help you guys understand the best way, the successful way to talk about what we can offer people. Now again, those scripts, they're going to look a little bit silly if you're using them word for word and you're not bringing your personality to the forefront, especially if you're talking to someone who's in your warm market. They understand you, they know you, they come to you because they trust you. So you do need to flip that around a little bit and add yourself to the script. Okay, it gives you a really good idea of what to go off though. So definitely scripts books are great. Now, before you even watch this, please go and have a look at the Rise of the Entrepreneur and GoPro. Now, they should have been told to you to do that in our game plan chat with Adam and Kira. So that should have been your next step. If you haven't done it, it's really vital that you do, guys. It gives you the best understanding of utilizing a system and really finding your feet in network marketing and the Juice Plus company. So definitely go and do that if you haven't done, and come back to this once you've finished. But for now, I really want to talk to you guys about the two main things that we do in the business. So obviously we look for customers and we look for team. That is all our business comes down to, okay? They are the two main focuses in our company, the two main focuses and the two main position points that you guys need to work on from here. Now, if you are just starting out, I really do encourage you guys to work on that as a 50-50 ratio. So 50% of the time you want to be looking for customers and 50% of the time you want to be building team. Now, it's really important too to remember, although team is what's going to fund your business, quite often that is where the long-term income comes from, so the passive income. Customers are the lifeline of our company, of our business, of what we do here at Juice Plus. We have a really beautiful, beautiful system where we focus more on the mission. And that's what sets us apart from every other network marketing company that's out there. We really want to impact people. We want to add value. And because of that good energy, we quite often propel in our business and the customers enjoy it too. So definitely make sure that you are focusing on that. And when you're duplicating this down to your new team, you're teaching them to look after their customers as well. Cool. So system-wise, I'm going to move this forward a little bit so you guys can see it. I know the lighting in here is a bit hard. Okay, so system-wise, how we move anywhere in this business is following the top 5 high-paying activities. So hopefully you guys have got a little bit of an understanding about that. Hopefully your uplines talked briefly about it, but I'm just going to outline them again just in case, so that when I'm talking how to move forward from there, you know where all this interest is coming from. Okay, you can be as wonderful as you want at manifesting, but unless you're putting in the action, the universe very rarely just hands it to you. Okay, so when we talk about these top 5 high-paying activities, there's 3 things to remember. You need to be teachable. So if your upline is saying to you, how many people are you speaking to? You know, what are you doing? Are you sharing? Are you doing that? Ask them where you can improve, because there's a really good chance that they also ask their upline where they can improve, and that's why they're becoming successful. And when they do tell you where you can improve, don't take it personally. Okay, we don't want to attack anybody. That is not what network marketing is about. In fact, we want to see other people succeed. So we're always coming from a place of love when we're giving back feedback. All right, so be teachable. Okay, allow that feedback to come. Number 2, get into action. Okay, there's absolutely no point in getting in this if you're not ready to get into massive fucking action and to smash this, okay? It needs to happen. We need to be able to move forward, to get into momentum, to feel that kind of energy in order to create team and attract customers, okay? And then the third one, of course, is just follow the system. Turn up, follow what you get taught, and be really proud that you're out there trying to add value to people. Cool? So let's go through it. Top 5 high-paying activities. Number 1 is connect. So we're a network marketing business. We're about going out there and helping add value to others. We need to connect to people to do it. Cool? It's really important. There's no point in having a business if we're not willing to step outside of our comfort zone. Now, if any of this frightens you, if you're feeling a little bit awkward about any of it, you need to go back and work on why you're here. Make that vision so big and so compelling that nothing of this can hold you back. Okay, I know when I first started this, I had massive limiting beliefs around people. I didn't like people. I didn't want to go outside of my way to connect to other people that I didn't know because I had my little safety box. Now, do you think I could have grown a business like I have if I didn't challenge myself on that perspective? I had to go to work on that, okay? I really had to build belief. I had to spend my time around better people. I had to work on myself. So if you guys really want this to work, if you really want that financial gain, if you want that freedom, if you want that residual income, you know, you do need to go to work on yourself and do these things. Number 2 is share. Now, I don't care how you do this. My favorite way, of course, is social media because it's so easy. You know, you get free advertising to thousands of people instantly. So sharing on Facebook is one of my favorite things, but it could be as simple as having a conversation with your Uber driver or your checkout chick who looks super unhappy. Having those little questions, sharing what you do, and, you know, of course, connecting first. So asking those questions, how are you going? You know, do you like your job? All that kind of stuff, because it gives you the permission to share if you see an opening, okay? There's no point really just going out and sharing on the cold market. And there's some people who love it, but, you know, personally, I don't like it. I don't like it done to me. So I wouldn't like, you know, my team going and following that suit unless they really feel comfortable with it. 3, now events. And I'm also going to put in here training. Sorry, my writing's getting crazy. Now with this one, this is vital, okay? We call it keeping close to the fire. The heat, the momentum, everything is close to the fire. And in our business, they're all online, basically because we're an online business. So events and training are really important, guys, really super important. The difference between them, an event is something that showcases our product and showcases our business and is there for potential prospects. Okay, so you will see events done all the time. They basically have the same layout. We cover the product, we cover the myths, we cover the income. All the time, okay? It's cool though, because every time you watch it, I still tune into events. I still go to the live events here on the Gold Coast because every time I watch it, I hear somebody else's story. I hear somebody else's verbiage on the way that they explain things. And this is a teaching business, right? That is how we learn. We learn through process. So show up to those events, at least one event a week. If you got time for more, definitely hit on more. Training. Now this is so important. Okay, you wouldn't go and buy a brand new franchise for $100,000, say a Red Rooster, and expect not to be trained and be successful. Okay, you just can't wing that shit. This is what we need to do. You need to turn up. You need to turn up to trainings, Monday night trainings, Team Freestyle with Adam and Kira. Non-negotiable, absolute non-negotiable. Now I know people will say, I'll watch the recordings. unless you know that you're certainly keen on watching the recordings, get there live. Okay, there's nothing, this excuses come up during the week and then you think, oh fuck, it's Friday and I haven't watched that recording. Okay, that's 5 whole days that you've missed all of that knowledge, and if you're not on the ball, you probably still won't watch it. You'll say, oh, I'll jump on next Monday. Jump on every Monday, okay? Get yourself in the pattern, because the cool thing about the system is what you do, your team will do. All right, now you might not have team just yet, you might be brand new, but you need to get these patterns in order because leaders go first. It's very important to remember that, guys. So at least one event and one training each week. If you've got more time, definitely jump on more. If you want this to move faster, jump on more. Okay, the more you know, the better, because it really does start to build your confidence, start to build your belief. You get better at talking to people, you get better at understanding how to handle objections, and you can really move forward a lot quicker. Now, number 4 is the dreaded follow-up. Now, so many people don't like this one because they think they need to be a pest. Please don't be a pest, okay? You don't have to be, but you do need to come from a place of heart and caring and adding value and really check up on people. We all know that in today's life, things get crazy. You know, we have fanatical weeks where sometimes it's even hard to remember what we were doing on Monday, let alone that we were supposed to contact someone to buy a product, okay? It's really important, guys, that you take this role as a representative, very important. 80% of all sales, 80% of all sales are made on the 5th to the 12th follow-up. Now, that's a statistic. I didn't just pull that out. That is a statistic. So if you're not following up, you're missing out on 80% of your potential, 80% of your income. All right, so you need to get in the headspace where this is now your job. Juice Plus is your job, okay? So make sure that you are following this to the T. If you want it to work, work it like a business, okay? Treat this like a job. Number 5 is customer care. Now, like I said before, customers are the lifeline of your business. So if you're not looking after them, if you're not touching base, if you're not seeing how you can better improve their experience, you are not creating a sustainable business for the future. This is really important to also teach to your brand new teamies. And the really cool thing about this is that I like to think of every customer as a potential teamie in training. So, you know, they're on the product, they're loving it, they're hopefully raving about it. We want to turn them into raving fans. You treat them so good that when they do decide to become a distributor, they will know exactly how it should look. Okay, they know how to do the weekly calls, how to send out gifts, how to tag them in different resources to make sure that their why in why they're using the product is getting covered. All right, so that's it. Now, the one thing that holds all this together, and it's the one thing that I really love about this business, is that these 5 things need some kind of glue to keep them together. Now, that glue to me is personal development, because a lot of us come into this business and we do need to work a little bit. We need to work on ourselves. We need to get through limiting beliefs. We need to get outside of our comfort zones. And unless we propel ourselves hard enough with a big enough vision, it's not going to happen without some personal development. So by that, I mean, if you have belief issues around the product, if you have belief issues around the industry, about yourself, anything like that, even if it's totally not Juice Plus related, even if it's business related, go to work on yourself and learn new skills. Because once you do make yourself a bigger version, you're going to make your business a bigger version as well. Cool. So basically, that is what to do in order to get interest in your team and in your customer base. So you think, if I'm connecting and I'm sharing, I'm going to be having conversations every single day consistently about what I do. That should either lead to new customers or to new team. Now, it's that simple, guys. If you have utilized all your resources, so you think, okay, yeah, no one's interested, none of my friends are keen, you need to go and find more. Okay, we have Facebook with unlimited amounts of people that we could talk to. There's 2 billion people using Facebook at the moment. So no one should have the excuse that they have run out of people to talk to. Okay, you just keep doing it. If you really want this to work, that is where the money comes. That is where the freedom comes to take your kids places that you want to go, to take yourself places that you want to go, to have that, I guess, just peace of mind that things are being taken care of. Okay, now, cool. So when we do those top 5 high paying activities, we're going to attract interest. Now, if you are brand new at this it's going to be a little bit different because I really want you to rely on your upline as much as you can. Now, that should be until you're past SC. So you may think you're awesome because you smashed fast track SDVF. You're still a baby in terms of our business, guys. And it's a beautiful concept to be a baby. Trust me, you don't want to get kicked out of the nest because people know what they're doing. If you've got a leader in here who knows what they're doing, utilize them. Okay, that is power. That is power in proximity. That's how you grow. That's how you learn and keep building that muscle. So first of all, I'm going to go for business and then I'm going to cover customers as well. So in our business, if we get somebody who's interested, so let's just say, I'm going to use Sally as an example. Now, Sally and I have been talking on and off for a little while, and she's told me that her husband does FIFO, and she really hates the turmoil that it's created in her family unit. So she tells me that they're looking, and she's going to have to go back to work in order to try and find something to bring him home. Okay, now that sounds a little bit hard, right? It sounds like I could help. I've got a gift here that helps mum create an income from home. So I'd be stupid not to share it, and I would actually be quite selfish. So the best way to do that is to come from a place of heart, stop overthinking it, get into your heart space, and say something simple like, look, babe, I don't know if you've seen what I do, but it sounds like it could really benefit you. We have an online business where we help people create an income. I know it might not be for you. Give them an out, okay, so that they can have an out, doesn't make them feel pressured. And say, but if I sent you something through, it takes about half an hour to watch, would you get a chance to see if it could help? That simple, okay? So what you're doing there, if you already know their why it would help, utilize that pain point. Say that must be difficult, it must suck, I can't imagine how that would feel, okay? Utilize that pain point, make yourself relatable, and then feed them through of an offer of how you can help. Cool. That's simple. She comes back and says, yeah, I'd love to. You know, I don't know if it's for me. I'm pretty shy, but I would love to see. All you do then, okay, don't go crazy. Don't go splurting Juice Plus out. Don't go saying, oh, it's amazing for me. I've done blah, 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 blah. Just say, awesome. That sounds wonderful. I know I had reservations at the start too, but this video should clear it up. That's it. Okay. You get them to watch the video. Now they will either come back from that and say, you know what, it's fantastic, I love it, where do I go from here? Or they might say, you know, I watched it, and they'll give you a few objections. If they give you objections, screenshot it straight away and put it in your upline message. Cool? Let them handle that. Let them help you. Now, if they've said, yes, I love it, sounds perfect for what I'm after, don't muck around. Don't talk about Juice Plus. Don't talk about anything, because really, the less you say, the better it's going to be. What you do is you say, awesome, I'd love to get you started and have a chat if you've got any questions or anything like that. Is tomorrow okay for a call? Is this afternoon okay for a call? You know, one thing I really like to do if I'm talking to people who I don't know, I will say, is morning or evening better? Because it doesn't give them an out option. They've literally got to pick morning or evening. Because if you say to somebody, are you free this week for a call? What do you think they're going to say when it's a little bit uncomfortable? Oh, I'm really tight this week. You know, I don't think I could fit it. But if you only give them two options, they're going to pick one, and then you've got something to work with. Okay? Now you have to remember, guys, hopefully you were like this. If not, it's a little bit hard. But you have to remember how you felt when you were first approached about the business. Most of us had no idea what network marketing was, or most of us had, you know, kind of some negative connotations. So be relatable, help in that, but don't overspew. Okay, because if you can give them the teeniest little bit of information that may make them doubt themselves, they're not going to continue this conversation with you. And that's why it's really vital to move on to that upline message or upline call as soon as possible. So what we do is we've got interest, then we find their why. So why is it important to them? So with Sally, obviously she had a FIFO husband. If I was doing ads, you know, whether I'm doing buy swap sell pages or something totally unrelated to my warm network, I would also always say, thanks so much for your reply. I'm really excited to get you some information on our positions. Can I ask what it is that gets you interested? Then you've got their why. Okay, sometimes they won't give you their why, because in that same message, I always say the easiest way for me to get some info to is to send you through a short video. Is that something you'd get time to watch? So hopefully with that next message, they'll come back and tell you why they're interested, and yeah, sure, send through the video. Then you move through video. Cool. And then if it's a yes, we move to the upline. Sorry, can you guys see that? Cool. So this is it. We get their interest, we get their why, we send out the link of an event, and then we get them on with our upline. Now, it's really important to follow this, guys. You are not supposed to be the expert. And do you know what's really beautiful about this? Come in, darling. Come in and help me. Do you know what's really beautiful about this? Is that when you guys aren't the expert, it helps them understand that they don't have to be the expert. I know some of you guys in the team have been really big knowledge people. So, you know, you want to know every single little bit of info before you get started. Now, that is beautiful, and it obviously serves you at a really high level, but not everybody is like that. So if you go out and you give them the encyclopedia on Juice Plus and how to get started and the game plan chat, they're going to think, far out, I need to know all that, and that's too much. Cool. Even when it's a prospect call, so when we're doing an upline call, sometimes that's really scary. Oh, we don't, please. That's noisy. Sometimes that's really scary. So it's easier for them to see, okay, cool. All they had to do was get me on a call with somebody who knew a little bit more. I can do that. If I don't have to run my own phone calls, maybe I could do this. Maybe I could be one of those people. And sometimes you can even make a joke of it. I always like to avoid the fact that you're having an upline call until it becomes time to download Zoom and talk about things like that. Or, you know, sometimes if you're getting them in contact with your upline, they may not want to jump straight to a call. They may have some reservations about that. Now, that's okay. I probably would have been one of those people as well. Now, in that circumstance, I would get them in a three-way message on Facebook. You know, and the easiest thing to do is put in a message and say, hey, Sal, this is my friend Lauren. She's the one who got me into the business. I hope you don't mind, but I've popped her in a message here because she's really great at this stuff. She knows all about this. She's been doing it for 3 years now, and she's got unlimited wealth of knowledge. And I know she would help you get the best start. Okay, always put it back to them and why you're helping them. Now, she's not going to be like, oh, what the hell are you doing? She might think that inside, but she's had that opportunity now to have support. Now, sometimes if you feel more comfortable, do that before you even bring up the upline call. Because then if it was me and somebody was putting me in a three-way call, I can say, you know, hey, Sally, that's wonderful. I'm so excited to have you looking at the team. I would really help to see what this can be for you. Is there a time tomorrow that we can get you on a call? Okay? And then I can handle that awkwardness and that weirdness. Cool? So I hope that makes a little bit of sense. Basically, you get their interest, you find out why they're interested, because we are all about serving others, not just adding to your team. Okay, you need to work out why you can help them. Then we send out the video link of an event, a recorded event of, not a training, nothing different, not the game plan, an event, a video event. Okay? And then we move on to getting them in contact with your upline, either in a three-way message or straight on an upline call. Cool? So that's pretty basic, right? That is how we get team. And then what happens is we start again. Because this person is now a team member. So then you teach them exactly what to do. Now, we talk a lot about duplication because in this business, it's not about what you can do. It's about what you can teach your team to do and what they can teach their team to do and what they can teach their team to do. That is the beauty of network marketing. It's not just your show. All right, so whatever you're doing to introduce your potentials into the business is what they're going to try and do to introduce their potentials. So just sink that in for a little bit. The pressure is on you because if you do the wrong thing and if you think, you know what, I'm going to wing it a little bit and try this, you could destroy a whole line. Okay, so you guys teach them how to do it correctly so that they have learned how to do it correctly and they can teach the exact same thing to their new team. Now, basically, if we were to change this up and look at it from a customer point of view. So we've done our top 5 high-paying activities. We've got the personal development in there to glue it all together. and we have somebody messaging us on Facebook or talking to us in real life about our program, about what we do, either at Soul Project, Juicy Body Transformation, however it is that you're selling what we do with Juice Plus, you have a customer interest, right? So they're curious. They want to know more. Now, my biggest tip on this, never talk on a Facebook wall. So if you've done up a post and somebody says, what are you doing? I'd love to know more information. Send them a direct message. People are much more likely to open up and to give you a little bit more feedback in a personal message rather than on a wall. Okay, so let's just say it's a girl and she's got absolutely horrible periods at the moment and she's in excruciating pain and she wants to find a natural way to combat that. She's probably not going to write it on the wall. Okay, if you guys were around probably last year, I think I shared that I had somebody come up to me at a wedding who I didn't even know, but he told me that he was suffering from eczema. Now, it was on the back region of his body, and he actually had to take me away and be like, I'm really embarrassed about it. Now, can you imagine if I said to him on my Facebook wall, what is it? What is it that you want? He probably just would have never answered the question and avoided it. Okay, so give them that option to take it private. Not only does that help them have something special with you, it starts to build rapport, and it also starts to keep that news feed really clean. Because sometimes you can say something that can turn somebody else off, but it can help that person that you're immediately talking to. So it's always better to keep things in personal messages. So interest. Now with this one, if you're just starting, it's really important to utilize your upline. I cannot stress that enough, okay? Because most of the time that upline learned exactly the same things from their upline and from their upline and from their upline. And like I said, we come from an upline of gods. So if you're not utilizing that, then you're probably shooting yourself in the foot. So what I would encourage you guys to do, ask the question and say, look, babe, I'm so excited. I love what it's done to me. You can share a little bit about your journey on it so far. And then say, I'd love to help, see if it helps you. What is it that gets you interested? Or is there a reason why you're asking? Because I find that that's really important because we need to find out their why. Again, even customers, it's about adding value, about helping them out, about helping them understand how we can serve them, because that's what we do, okay? We're servant leaders and we want to help them. Why is it that they're interested in the product? Then I would take it straight to your upline. Cool. Now the upline, screenshot it. So if they come back and they say, you know what, I've been suffering really bad from arthritis, or, you know, I'm just not eating what I should be, my children are fussy eaters, whatever it is, screenshot it to your upline and let them help you with how to respond. Now, I have circulating, if it hasn't landed in your message box yet, I have a huge big chunk of information that I keep saved in the notes in my iPhone. Now, that information is really important because it covers all sorts of things, you know, like just basics. It's 27 fruits, veggies, and berries in GMO form, GMO-free form. It's in the micronutrient level, so it gets to the cells. All that kind of stuff that sometimes is a little bit tricky to type out when you're first learning. So what I do is I send that to my brand new teenies. I get them to keep it aside on their phone, and then they can just take chunks out of it when they want and utilize it fresh, freshen it up a little bit to their why, and send it back off. Now, of course, you never want to send a whole big chunk. Again, probably when we're talking less is always more because it's keeping them engaged. It's keeping them curious. Who has ever been guilty of getting a massive big text and just thinking, oh, fuck it, I'll read it later. And then you never go back to it. Okay, so we really want to avoid that. We want to keep it short and sharp, and we really want to ask questions to work out why it is. So this is pretty simple. Yeah, that's it, Lolly. Your head's in the way a little bit. Can you move? Thank you. So basically, it's very simple. Customers, especially when you're starting to get on your feet. Even if you guys are finding your feet and you might be at that SDVF level, you know, starting to build team, construct a message and say, this is what I want to send back. How would you rate it? What would you change? Do you think it's appropriate? Because that's a really good way for you to understand where you are excelling and where maybe the verbiage can change. When we talk about verbiage, we talk about the language that is used to sell and to improve value to a product. So that's really important, because if you haven't been in sales before, or if you haven't done human psychology or anything like that, it is all about saying the right thing. You can really spew on people and you can change their opinion very quickly. So the verbiage is really important, and that is why I would go straight to your upline and help them out. Now, again, you can give them the option to jump on a call. You can give them an option, if they're a difficult customer, to put them in a three-way message with your upline. I don't mean difficult as a pain in the ass. I mean maybe they've got a lot of issues that they'd like to fix. Now, again, your upline will help you with adding value, because that is what it's about. Sometimes people say that they get scared off at the price. There's two challenges I'd like to do that with you. Is the first, you're not giving them enough value. Because if people can really understand what they receive in this program, even if they were to buy premium and shakes each month, it would still far outweigh, any little cost of this product, because the value is immense. You only have to go into the Juicy Body Transformation and see all the work that Kira's done. I'm just about to release a guide too that's going into the Soul Project, so you get to use all of that kind of stuff for free. Now, if you look at like Ashley Bynes or Kayla Itzines, anything else like that, these programs are expensive and they get very little results, okay? Because they don't have that one-on-one that we have. You guys have a representative to really help you out with. Okay, so make sure that they understand that, they know the value, they're getting the CHS. Again, this is where the upline is really going to help. Hey, shush, okay? Don't do that, please. Why don't you two go out, because I'm trying to do an important video for everybody. Beauty of working with children. So basically, uplines are vital. And you know what? Sometimes you might not like your upline. Sometimes you might get a difficult one. They happen, okay? You might not click. You might just not really resonate or gel with each other very well, but they are still your person. What I would encourage you to do then, normally, and if you've followed the system, remember when we talk about the business system, you should have a three-way message with your upline and their upline, because that's how you organize the call. So what you do is you go back into that and you utilize two brains instead of one. And the beauty of that is sometimes, like I know myself and some of the other big leaders, we don't actually have full-time jobs anymore. This is our sole career. Okay, so we're there to answer questions probably a little bit more than the person who directly introduced you, because they still may be in the kind of stages of getting rid of their jobs. So you've got two brains and probably one that's going to answer quicker than the other. Okay, so definitely utilize this as much as possible and have that three-way message, because this is why it's important. Now, with a customer as well, please make sure that you're giving them your full attention. When you're doing it, don't come from here. Don't think, oh, shit, am I going to say the wrong thing, or they're not going to like the price? Because the second challenge that I really wanted to do with that, if people are stopping at the price, you don't believe in the value. Now, I know that seems a little bit blameful, but it's true. If people keep saying to you that it's too expensive or they can't afford it, and it keeps stopping at the price, that is you, okay? That's not the product, because I don't have that issue, because I believed in the value 100% and I'm absolutely certain on it, and I don't attract those type of people. And when I do, I can explain to them fully the value of it, and they move past that into an order. So if you're having that, you need to screenshot your conversations. You need to be open to feedback, because somebody could say, you're not adding enough value in there. How about you word it like this? Okay. Again, now this is a little bit on a hippie spiritual kind of level, but unless you're 100% certain in your beliefs, it's not going to convey to a customer. So this is again where the personal development comes in that glue to stick all of your ingredients in the top 5 high-paying activities together. Go to work on yourself. If you do find yourself that you don't believe in the value of the product, or you think it's too expensive, go to work on understanding exactly everything that's in there. Go and read all Kira's recipe books. Go and talk to some of the personal trainers and the nutritional coaches and things like that inside the Juicy Body Transformation. All right? Because that will start to change your perspective. You'll start to understand, and you can give more to your customers and your business teamies from that position. Cool. Now, what else did I have to cover? Because I know there are a few things. Cool. No, that's pretty much it. I ticked it all off. Awesome. So I hope that makes a little bit of sense for you. Basically, that is the system. That is what you should follow. Now, remember, again, it's really important to implement those trainings and those events. Get on them, because what they will do is talk about this. And we have this amazing matter inside of our brain that works on repetition. So the more that we hear it, the more that we're certain with it, and the more that we can put it into action. This business isn't something where you're going to hear something once and rock with it. You need to keep building that muscle. You know, like Linda says, she's always building that, the belief muscle and the resilience muscle. So I hope that makes sense, guys. Now remember, at any of this stage, there may be people that it just isn't for, okay? It may not go straight down with an arrow. It might just go boop, out to the rubbish bin. That's okay, all right? That's okay. If I was to give you guys a little bit of an idea, now we talk about connecting and sharing as our top 2 high-paying activities. I connect with at least 15 people a day, and I'm sharing at least 3 posts on Facebook a day, whether it be from my personal page or my business page. Now, if every single one of those was a winner, if you think I've been in it for almost 2 years now, imagine the front line I would have. You need to dig for those little pieces of gold, guys. You're going to get 1,000 no's. You're going to be shut down. You're going to have people that don't like it. Kira's got one of my favorite analogies. She loves sushi, but not everybody loves sushi. Juice Plus is a little bit like sushi. Okay, there's going to be people out there who it just isn't for. They just don't enjoy it, and that's okay. Build up that muscle. Every time somebody says no, you're a step closer to a yes and a step closer to that vision that you've created for yourself. So anchor yourself inside that vision. Know where you're going. Know why you're here. Know why you're following this system every day, because that's really important too. Okay, it helps you not give up on any of the tough days. So I hope that made sense, guys. I'm really excited to see this. Remember to touch base with your uplines if you have any questions. Come to me on the team page or leave a question on the wall so that we can all help you out. Definitely utilize the support system that's here for you. All right, so have a lovely evening, and don't forget to share this video to all your new teammates when they start so they do understand what the system involves. All right, guys, see you.